Hi guys, hope you're well. So this is just a quick 6-month update on my Rolex Datejust. The pros and the cons. It is actually Remembrance Sunday. I've got my poppy on. I've lost the back. I had to stick it on with a bit of blue tack. But I just thought we'd take a moment. Remembrance Sunday. Right, let's start the show. Right, first of all, wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Bremont on a black leather strap because of Bremont's, connection to a lot of military. I thought it was quite appropriate on Remembrance Sunday, really. So yeah, I don't need an excuse to wear the Bremont. No, I absolutely love it. So the Rolex Datejust, here it is. I mean, from that distance, it just looks the business, doesn't it? It is stunning. It is a stunning watch. I absolutely love it, to be honest. But when you get close up, the wear and tear, for want of a better word, sort of grates on you a little bit. There's nothing like that new watch feeling, that new car smell. Once 6 months down the line, we get a close-up of this, you'll see what I'm talking about. So what are the stats for the Rolex Datejust? Well, it is a 41mm, but I'll measure that later on. You'll actually see that it's not a 41. Retails at £6,150. It's a Sunray blue dial. It's the caliber 3235, which is a chronometer, and it's -2 to +2. It's the Oyster flat 3-piece links. And just look at it. It is a stunning piece of kit. Well, is it worth £6,000? It probably is, yeah. It's also got a 70-hour power reserve, 100 meters water resistant, which is more than enough for any lifestyle. I wish my Speedmaster had that. That'd make it a little bit more perfect. And it's the Chroma Light Lume, which is, Jesus, wait till you see later on. It is awesome. Sapphire crystal with the Cyclops, and that's one of my bugbears, is the Cyclops, and I'll tell you why later. And it's got the EasyLink 5mm micro adjustment, and I honestly think that's the best micro adjust system because the clasp is small and neat, but it's just enough every time, that 5mm. As you can see from this, it's an absolutely stunning watch. The close-ups really do it justice. That dial just pops in natural light. And, the bracelets, because of the contrasting brush and polished, it does look fantastic in low-light situations. It's nice, isn't it? It is really. Yeah, I do love this watch. But what are the pros and the cons? I'll start with the cons because it's a little bit it's a bit negative, really, and I'm picking holes. But they have ground down on me. I mean, let's start with the first one. Excuse me. The first one are those scratches. Yeah, the scratches, they're absolutely horrendous to look at, and the closer you get, the worse they are. I mean, from a distance, it's only ever me that's going to be seeing them. But, I mean, if you just look at these, I'm picking up more and more, and I swear, I haven't brushed it against it. I only remember hitting my watch once, and that's when it was brand new, so the scratch was a lot more prominent against a brand new watch. But the rest of these, they've just literally, brushing up against a couch or the curtains or a feather duster, they've all scratched it. It's absolutely horrendous for it. Also, the crown. I think the crown's really annoying. I mean, it's not that big, but when you wear a jumper down like this, and then it's going to be pushing into you a bit because of the jumper, I honestly sometimes don't wear the Datejust if I'm wearing a jumper for that simple reason, because it digs in the crown. It's quite a sharp, pointy little thing. So yeah, it does dig in me, so that is quite annoying. Also, the fingerprints, I mean, on those shiny bits, that's what makes it a Datejust, all the shiny, blingy bits. But ultimately, it's a fingerprint magnet, and it's horrendous at times. It really is. And I suppose if you want that bit of bling, you're going to have to do it. I mean, the Jubilee bracelet is even more blingy, and that's the better option because it hides the scratches more and it also hides the fingerprints more. And then, bizarrely, the Cyclops has started to bug me after 6 months use. It's actually not the Cyclops itself. I actually love the Cyclops. When I was younger and I saw a watch with that magnifying glass, I'm like, oh my God, that is so special. Really, really enjoy the Cyclops. It's in and around the Cyclops where it collects dust and dirt, and it's actually quite, not difficult, it's not a challenge, but it's a bit more of a pain in the bum to actually clean it up. So yeah, the Cyclops and the fact that it retains dust and dirt a little bit too much for me. So yeah, they're the 4 bugbears that really, really annoy me. So on to the pros, and the first one is it's a Rolex. I don't think you can beat, for me personally, Rolex as a brand. I think in my head, all my life, it's always been the number one brand. Granted, I'd never heard of the other big boys, like Patek, etc. growing up. So, Rolex from a young age was the king. And I think for me, that's the level that I aspired to as a young man. I remember not being able to afford a Hamilton. So to afford a Rolex, the fact that it is a Rolex and you're wearing it is almost enough, regardless of what it looks like or how it feels. Its resale value is another really good pro. Just a smidge over £6,000 it is to buy one new, and I'd probably sell it for a smidge under £6,000 on eBay or something like that. So with a £1 seller's fee, I wouldn't lose too much money, and it's a chunk of money to invest in another watch if needs be. So yeah, it's not as good as sports models, granted. I'm never going to make a profit on it, but if I'd taken it brand new from the AD and then tried to resell it, I might make a few £100 on it. It's not worth it, is it? I've never bought a watch to make profit off anyway. The reflection, the looks of the watch, as much as it's a negative for the fingerprints and the scratches, actually, from across a table, it just looks fantastic. So if I was at a restaurant, I doubt it with lockdown nowadays, but if I was at a restaurant with someone, they had a Datejust on from across the table, I just know it'd look $1 million. You could just tell it'd look reflective. You could tell it's a Rolex. It'd look $1 million. So yeah, the reflective qualities of Rolex are really, really good. And the fact that it's a Datejust, Rolex Datejust, probably the most famous, popular watch in the world, along with maybe the Speedmaster, the Submariner. I get that there's a big title to give, and a lot of non-watch people will probably go for a Datejust. And it could be a one-watch collection. It's versatile, easy to wear, apart from the crown. So yeah, you could have it in your collection all the time. And I know it's on a polished Centrelink Oyster bracelet, but because it is on that solid bracelet, it does feel like it could stand the test of time. Might look a bit worn and battered, but don't we all after a certain amount of time? So yeah, therefore really good positives about it. And I think as an overall, the Rolex Datejust, only just recently have I started to think I might swap it for something a bit more tool-tastic. Basically, just take that polish away, and then if it does get a scratch, it sort of lives with it a little bit better, doesn't it? So yeah, that's my thinking really. I've only just recently started thinking in the last few weeks, do I want to get rid of the Datejust? I've had it 6 months. I still love it. I still look, if I'm going out for said this before, if it's an interview or a meeting at work or, a nice meal out or a family occasion, probably reaching for the Datejust over everything else. So yeah, I love it. Maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. I don't want to lose money on a Rolex. Christ, if you're in that position, you're doing something wrong, aren't you? But yeah, it's just a quick update. I mean, I'd love your thoughts on it, really. Does it look in bad condition? Is it something that I should put up with and shut up with? Would you buy a Datejust knowing what you know now? I don't know. Obviously, all these things are really important, but what's most important is that you hit like and subscribe. I aren't doing this for the fun of my health. Fun of my health. Good of my health. I aren't doing it for the good of my health. I am really. I don't get paid, but it's good fun is this. Right, guys. So a little bit of influencer story time and parting with a company called Aviate, AVA-8, and they got in touch on Instagram and they goes, we want you to be an ambassador or something, or, and I'm like, oh, brilliant. So they said, we'll give you a massive discount on buying a watch. Okay. And we'll give you discount to give people on your Instagram page. I'm like, all right. Okay, yeah, go on then. What watch are you sending me? Oh, no, we're not sending you a watch. What? So you want me to promote your watches, endorse your watches, push people to use my sales code on my Instagram account, but I've never actually touched one myself? Nah. So yeah, I'm quite shocked that they're willing to do that. And I don't want to put my name into anything or, say, yeah, buy this because it's mega. And I just thought, that is proper shitty, innit, really? So yeah, that's another one that I turned down. I mean, I'd love to know what you actually get off a sales code, how much I'd actually make off it. But yeah, just seemed a bit piss poor, to be honest, that they'd do that. Right, guys, as I said, this is just a super quick video. I hope you like the close-ups. I've been practicing with my macro lens. I've got a new microphone on the top of the camera to try and completely get rid of the sound problems that I've been having. Obviously, it's cut out once already, but I've tried to hide it in the editing because I'm sick of doing it. Right, guys, hope you have a good one. Remembrance Sunday. Over and out. I'll see you in the next one.